We are halfway through this year of 2022, and while some great games have already come out and some disappointments, we know the back half of this year is really strong. And of course, what kind of guy would I be to not give you guys our top 10 most anticipated games for the rest of 2022? Now, some of these have release dates and some of them do not, but for the most part, we know all of these are coming out this year. I definitely want to hear which games you guys are most excited for the rest of 2022. Make sure to leave those thoughts down below, as well as hit that like and subscribe button if you love talking games, because over here at Critics Play Games, all of our team loves playing games. This is our favorite hobby, and we are film critics who love talking about games. So thank you so much for joining us, and let's dive into this. Jumping into our number 10, we have Modern Warfare 2. Now this is, of course, a brand new version. It's not the remake of Modern Warfare 2 that a lot of people would probably rather have, but it is the sequel to the highly loved last Modern Warfare remake, which for me was probably the best Call of Duty we've gotten in years. While I am someone who tries out every Call of Duty still, I know there are a lot of people who have given up. Vanguard was cool for a little bit, but I just kind of gave up on it. Cold War was overall a mess, and I did not overall love that game. And honestly, as a Call of Duty someone who has played every Call of Duty since Call of Duty 3, I have to say that this is the first time that I actually feel a little bit more excited for something that Infinity War is doing. Now, while the graphics look good, I don't think they're great. I think there's a lot of elements that have been kind of rumored and leaked out, specifically new modes, new transportations, and in general, new ideas that Infinity Ward is trying to put into this game. And I think for people who just want a really good, solid multiplayer shooter, this game should not disappoint. As you know, a lot of people were hyping up Battlefield 2042 to be the killer to Call of Duty. It was not. It was a piece of shit, and it was a big waste of money for a lot of people. I don't think Modern Warfare 2 will be a mess. I think they've really been fine-tuning this thing, and I think a lot of us are going to be quite surprised when it releases this fall. Now, this next game, I have to say, I have never played the original, but many people have, and that is why I'm including it on this list, because at our number 9, we have Plague Tale Requiem. Now, many people are super excited for this because of the unique world and how surprising the original game was back in 2019. It's a game that mixes survival with puzzle solving, and puzzles typically aren't my best thing, but the thing about this, and just around the corner, the fact that this is coming out, there's still not a lot that we know, but every single glimpse that we get of this game, there is an element of it that I'm very interested in, specifically in the way that it is very much continuing the story. And the sequel does pick up 6 months later, but there are things that just do not turn out right. Very much this is still going to be a lot of focus on stealth, puzzle solving, and specifically this awesome new crossbow. And as well, there's a lot of new environments. There's not a lot much more that I know on this, but I'm very excited to actually jump into the original and then jump into the sequel later this year. A lot of people are pretty excited for this. It releases on October 18th, 2022. Now at our number 8, we have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now as Pokemon, I mean, you gotta include the new one coming out, because this is one of the few franchises that still continues to provide great games, and this is the second Pokemon game that is coming out this year. Now, while I never touched Pokemon Arceus, a lot of people said it was a nice little new form, but this is returning to the format that a lot of people want, and it's in a brand new region. The new Pokemon, like starters you get, there's some cute ones in there, but overall when you look at this game, this just has a really cool environment, and one of my friends who's actually very excited, it seems like it's based off the Portugal type of environment and all sorts of things like that. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet isn't on the top tier of this list just because it is another Pokemon game, but I do hope that it reinvents some of the new elements of Pokemon that may be being a little bit lackluster, and I'm still excited to pick up this game and jump back into the world of Pokemon. This next game came out of nowhere for me, but it kind of reminds me of Devil May Cry mixed with Gears of War, and that is Evil West. Developed by Focus Entertainment, it's about rising up to become a Wild West superhero, eradicating the vampire threat in a visceral, explosive style, and save the United States. It just looks insane, like crafting this ultimate vampire slayer, the myths and legends retold within a very stylized and weird Wild West universe. This is just one of those games that's either going to turn out to be a pile of crap or one of the biggest surprises for the year. And specifically enough, the gameplay is what's really grabbing me in on this game, and I truly think just touching into the 18th century and the way that it's kind of all building about, you get to play as this unique character and defeat unique creatures. And for me, when I look at something something like this. It's something that I think the Order 1886, a game that I liked but could have been better, but it's kind of giving me that reinvention of that world, and something that I'm definitely needing. And specifically, instead of like Knights of the Round Table type of elements, it's Wild Wild West, and come on, we need some more Wild Wild West games. Now at number 6, we have Overwatch 2. Now I am personally a little bit nervous for this game, and I love the original Overwatch. There's some choices that Blizzard has made that I'm really much not the biggest fan of, but in the end of the day, I have loved a lot of what Blizzard has given us, specifically the Diablo franchise. Unlike that mobile game, which I will never play. Really love the remaster that they brought out, even with its technical issues, and Diablo 4 is absolutely looking to be a phenomenal game next year. But Overwatch 2 is their big multiplayer game that I was absolutely sucked into, and I still go back and play on that original game. I'm a little bit sad they're going to be shutting off the servers for that, but this game is free to play. But that free to play model, how much is actually going to be loot boxes, microtransactions? That's where it starts to get me nervous. And plus the change from 5v5, I've not been able to touch the beta. I really don't want to. I just want to jump into this game, and hopefully it is as great as the first one while still having new additions to it that make it actually feel like a sequel to everything else. Overwatch 2 debuts this fall, and I'm still have my fingers crossed that this is going to be a great game. But I still have my nervousness to it, but it is one of the highly anticipated games that many people are looking forward to getting their hands on. Now at my number 5, we have Gotham Knights. I personally am not excited about this, but there is a big fan base out there for this that is very much hoping that this be the next great Arkham style game. But everything that I've kind of started to see from this just really isn't much for me. But there is anticipation around it, and being able to play in co-op, also explore the world of Gotham City. You're dealing with the Court of Owls, and you have 4 different Bat family characters to play as. While I don't, some of the choices are a little bit baffling, there seems to be a lot of fun in here, and I think the co-op of this game is really going to be the thing that takes it to that next level, and absolutely will be the thing that keeps this world alive and fun. It just really depends on how they support the game and how it actually overall feels like it's playing, but overall Gotham Knights is at our number 5. Number 4, we have High on Life. This was a big surprise coming out of the Microsoft and Xbox showcase, and this is from the creators of Rick and Morty. Now they've made previous games that I've never played, but there's something about High on Life that kind of gives me the vibes of what like Prey 2 wanted to be, with being this bounty hunter and all these weird weapons and wacky things that never came out, but it is more in a comedic nature that is very exciting to me. And just that one trailer alone with all the different weapons, and different mayhem that you can consider, it's colorful, it's lively, and it just looks like a ton of fun. I am very excited for this game, and I think a lot of you guys should be as well. This will be out this year as well on Xbox Game Pass, and thank God they actually have a game coming to Xbox. Out my number 3, we have the Hogwarts Legacy. Who is not excited for this? Specifically if you are a Harry Potter fan. You get to go to Hogwarts, to school, and I'm really hoping that they take the mentality of how Bully is, actually being able to attend classes, actually being able to further sit out, and bring about all the RPG elements that you could imagine being in a Harry Potter Hogwarts game. My only thing for this is I hope it does actually feel like more like a simulator where you do get transported to this world, and not just your typical RPG that you've gotten before. The combat looks a little bit stiff, but I'm hoping by the end of the day when we actually get our hands on this, this is going to be an awesome Hogwarts adventure. At my number 2, we have the Callisto Protocol. This is hands down one of my most anticipated games ever since it was announced from Glenn Schofield, the creator of Dead Space. Now, while this is very much Dead Space heavy, you can totally tell that it is in a sense a spiritual successor to it all, and with the Dead Space remake coming out very soon, we have some greatness to go about in the horror franchise. My only thing with this when it comes down to this game is that I hope it is not a lackluster game. I hope that the horror is there. It looks to be. The deaths, the brutality, the creatures, everything in this game is making it to look out great. But while you have all those things, I also do need a great story, and I hope that is provided. That is the only thing holding me a little bit back with my reservations with this game, but the Callisto Protocol looks to be everything and more, and I absolutely love all the gameplay and trailers we have seen so far. Now at my number 1, we have God of War Ragnarok. This is the most anticipated game for this fall. Debuting on November 9th, we just got that release date, and I know many people are going to be absolutely out of their mind excited for this. I know for me, I'm taking the day off from work. I am not working the next 3 days after this. I'm going to beat it, I'm going to play through it, and then I'm just going to have to talk about it and sorrow into my likeness of it all. God of War Ragnarok looks to be the conclusion to this entire Norse mythology that they've built up. They've talked about this, and really much I'm wondering how this game is going to end, how it is going to bring about, specifically after the last God of War and what they've given us. We know Kratos is going to be a badass. We know Atreides We know the boy is going to be doing some other cool things in this. This is a game that I want to stay as far away from and just be completely surprised once we finally dive into it. I imagine the boss battles are going to be fantastic, and the story conclusion to this Norse mythology is going to be great. And also, can we have some bets? Will Kratos be grabbing the hammer from Thor and beating the shit out of him with it? I'm going to say yes. But other than that, guys, that is our top 10 most anticipated games for the rest of 2022. Thank you so much again for watching this. You guys are really all the best. Can't wait to get your guys' list down below, as well as hit that like and subscribe button for more gaming content. We got a ton more lists coming up, and I can't wait to see your guys' thoughts and all sorts of things like that. The team over here, we are very proud of the channel, and we have a great plan for the future. So thanks so much again for watching, and of course, until next time, stay classy and keep playing games.